I'm seeing you more than my family, so it's Jesus. So I mean, it's great to share the court, to share the locker rooms, to share everything with you, watching you improve every day, working really hard with your team, really great people around. So I just congratulations for everything you're doing and the great performance during the whole week.
Carlos Alcaraz just won the 2025 Stefan Edberg Sportsmanship Award for the second time. And while most of the tennis world celebrated, some people couldn't handle it. The haters came out in full force, questioning whether he deserved it, nitpicking his on-court behavior, and finding any excuse to downplay his achievement. But here's the thing. This award wasn't voted on by fans or the media. It was voted on by the ATP #1 club, the most exclusive group in tennis. So yeah, the legends have spoken. Do you think Alcaraz deserves this award? Or are there other players who show better sportsmanship on tour?
Well, that's unbelievable. As he checks the mark now, hang on a second. No, it wasn't, he says. Well, he's been impressive in all departments, hasn't he? But especially his sportsmanship.
Replay the point.
He gets the approval of his coach, Juan Carlos Ferreira.
That's the way to play.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what just happened. Carlos Alcaraz won the 2025 Stefan Edberg Sportsmanship Award. This is the second time he's won it, with his first win coming in 2023. And this year, the award was voted on by the ATP #1 club, which is made up of the 29 current and former players who've reached world #1. That's Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, Sampras, Agassi, all the legends. These are people who know what it takes to be a champion and what it means to carry yourself with class. And they picked Alcaraz. That says everything.
Hi guys, it's Carlos Alcaraz. I'm so happy to win the Stefan Edberg Sportsmanship Award. I'm especially happy that it's an award chosen by my colleagues in the circuit. It means a lot to me. So thank you all very much.
The Stefan Edberg Sportsmanship Award is one of the most prestigious honors in tennis. It's named after Stefan Edberg, who won it 5 times between 1988 and 1995. From 2004 to 2021, only 2 players won it. Roger Federer, who won it 13 times, and Rafael Nadal, who won it 5 times. That's it. Just those 2. For almost 2 decades. So when Alcaraz won it in 2023, it was a big deal. And now that he's won it again in 2025, it's clear that he's not just a one-time fluke. He's the real deal. But of course, not everyone's happy about it. The haters came out immediately. Some people said he doesn't deserve it because he's emotional on court. Others said there are players who are more respectful. Some even brought up isolated incidents where Alcaraz got frustrated. And honestly, it's exhausting, because no matter what Alcaraz does, there's always someone trying to tear him down. But here's the thing. The people whose opinions actually matter, the legends who've been there and done that, voted for him. So what does that tell you?
Mesdames, Messieurs, Carlos Alcaraz a dit qu'il n'avait plus la raquette dans la main au moment du contact et donne le point à Ben Shelton. 30-40.
Let's talk about why Alcaraz won. One of the standout moments from this year came at Roland Garros. Alcaraz was playing Ben Shelton in the 4th round, and he went full stretch for a volley. He appeared to hit a clean winner, and the point was initially awarded to him. But Alcaraz immediately alerted the umpire that he had lost his grip on the racket mid-stretch and had made contact with the ball while it was no longer in his hand. By rule, that meant the point belonged to Shelton. Alcaraz gave up the point even though he could have kept his mouth shut and taken the win. After the match, Alcaraz said, "I would have felt guilty if I didn't say anything about it." And that right there is why he won this award. Because it's not about following the rules only when it's convenient. It's about doing the right thing even when no one's watching. Even when it costs you a point. Even when it could cost you the match. That's integrity. That's sportsmanship. And that's what this award is all about. But let's be real. Some people still weren't satisfied. They said, well, that's just one moment. What about all the other times he's complained or gotten frustrated? And it's like, are we really going to hold every single emotional reaction against him? Because here's the reality. Alcaraz is 22 years old, He's competing at the highest level of tennis. He's under constant pressure. He's dealing with injuries, expectations, and the weight of being one of the best players in the world. And yeah, sometimes he gets frustrated, sometimes he yells, sometimes he shows emotion. But that doesn't make him a bad sport. That makes him human. Compare that to some other players who've been on tour for years and still haven't figured out how to control themselves. Players who argue with umpires over every call. Players who smash rackets like it's going out of style. Players who treat ball kids like they're invisible. Alcaraz doesn't do any of that. He respects the game. He respects his opponents. And he respects the officials. And that's exactly why the ATP #1 club voted for him. Now, let's talk about the competition. Alcaraz was nominated alongside Felix Auger-Aliassime, Grigor Dimitrov, and Casper Ruud. All of them are great players, and all of them are known for their sportsmanship. Felix is one of the nicest guys on tour. Grigor's been around forever and is universally respected, and Casper's a former winner of this award, so it's not like Alcaraz was competing against nobodies. These are legitimate contenders, and he still won. That tells you everything you need to know. But here's where the sarcasm kicks in. The haters are out here acting like Alcaraz won because of some popularity contest. Like the ATP number. One club just picked him because he's young and marketable, but that's ridiculous. These legends don't care about marketing. They care about the game. They care about who represents tennis the right way. And they picked Alcaraz. So either they're all wrong, or the haters need to accept that Alcaraz deserves this. Let's also talk about Alcaraz's season. He finished 2025 as the ATP year-end #1. He won 8 titles, including 2 Grand Slams. He had a 71-9 match record, which is insane. He dominated the tour. And through all of that success, he never lost his humility. He never disrespected his opponents. He never acted like he was above the game. And that's rare, because a lot of players get cocky when they're winning. But Alcaraz stayed grounded, and that's exactly why he won this award. Now, some people tried to compare Alcaraz to other players and argue that someone else deserved it more. They said Felix is nicer, or Grigor's been around longer, or Casper's more consistent. And honestly, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But the fact is, the people who voted didn't agree. The ATP #1 club, the most exclusive group in tennis, voted for Alcaraz. And their votes matter more than some random person's opinion on Twitter. Let's also talk about what this award represents. It's not just about being nice, it's about embodying the spirit of the game. It's about competing with intensity while still respecting your opponent. It's about winning with grace and losing with dignity. It's about being a role model for the next generation. And Alcaraz does all of that. Kids look up to him. Other players respect him. And fans love him. Not because he's perfect, but because he's genuine. But here's what really bothers the haters. Alcaraz is young, talented, successful, and likable. And that combination drives people crazy, because some people can't stand seeing someone have it all. They want to find flaws, they want to tear him down. They want to convince themselves that he's not as great as everyone says. But the facts don't lie. Alcaraz is one of the best players in the world. And now, he's a 2-time winner of the Stefan Edberg Sportsmanship Award. Deal with it. Now, let's talk about the history of this award. From 2004 to 2021, only Federer and Nadal won it. That's 18 years of just 2 players. And both of them are considered among the greatest of all time, not just for their tennis, but for how they carried themselves. So when Alcaraz won it in 2023, people started saying he's the next in line, the next player to carry the torch of sportsmanship in tennis. And now that he's won it again, that's pretty much confirmed. But some people don't want to accept that. They say he's not on Federer and Nadal's level yet. And they're right. He's not. Because he's 22. He's still building his legacy. But the fact that he's already won this award twice tells you where he's headed. He's on the right path. And if he keeps going the way he's going, he's going to be mentioned in the same breath as those legends one day. Let's also talk about what makes Alcaraz different. A lot of players are talented. A lot of players are hardworking. But not a lot of players have that natural charisma and humility that Alcaraz has. He smiles. He jokes. He interacts with fans. He signs autographs. He takes time for kids. And he does all of that while competing at the highest level. That's not easy. Most players are too focused or too stressed to do all that. But Alcaraz makes it look effortless. And that's exactly why he's so marketable. Brands love him, fans love him, other players respect him. He's the complete package. And winning this award for the second time just adds to his growing legacy. Because now he's not just known as a great player, he's known as a great person. And that's priceless. But here's the thing. No matter how many awards Alcaraz wins, no matter how many Grand Slams he collects, there's always going to be haters. There's always going to be people who find something to criticize. That's just how it is. But the difference between Alcaraz and most players is that he doesn't let it bother him. He just keeps doing his thing, keeps playing great tennis, keeps being a class act, and keeps proving the haters wrong. Now, let's talk about the voting process. This year, for the first time, the winner was selected by the ATP #1 club. That's a huge deal, because these are the people who've been at the top. They know what it takes. They know the pressure, they know the scrutiny, and they voted for Alcaraz. That's not just an honor, that's validation. Because if the legends think you're doing it right, then you're doing it right. But of course, some people tried to argue that the voting was biased, that maybe some of the voters are friendly with Alcaraz, or that they picked him because he's the next generation. And honestly, that's just desperate, because there's no evidence of any bias. The vote was fair, and Alcaraz won because he deserved it. Simple as that. Let's also talk about the other nominees. Felix Auger-Aliassime is one of the nicest guys on tour. He's always respectful, he's always humble, and he's a great representative of the sport. But he didn't win. Grigor Dimitrov is a veteran who's been around forever. He's universally respected, but he didn't win. Casper Ruud is a former winner of this award. But he didn't win. Alcaraz did. And that tells you everything. Now, some people might say I'm being too harsh on the haters, and maybe I am. But the reality is, Alcaraz earned this. He didn't win because of popularity. He didn't win because of marketing. He won because of how he carries himself on and off the court. And the people whose opinions matter most agreed. So the haters can complain all they want. It's not going to change anything. Let's also talk about what this means for Alcaraz's future. Winning this award twice by the age of 22 is incredible. It puts him in rare company, and it shows that he's not just focused on winning matches. He's focused on being a good person, on representing the sport the right way, on being a role model. And that's exactly what tennis needs, because the sport is bigger than just wins and losses. It's about how you play the game. And Alcaraz plays it the right way. He competes hard, he respects his opponents, he owns his mistakes, and he celebrates his successes with humility. That's what makes him special. That's what makes him a two-time Stefan Edberg Sportsmanship Award winner. And that's what's going to make him a legend one day. But for now, the haters can keep hating. They can keep trying to find flaws. They can keep questioning whether he deserves the recognition. But the facts don't lie. Alcaraz is one of the best players in the world. He's a two-time Grand Slam champion this year. He's the ATP year-end #1. And now, he's a two-time Stefan Edberg Sportsmanship Award winner. The legends have spoken, and they picked Alcaraz. So yeah, the haters are in envy, and honestly, they should be. Carlos Alcaraz just won the Stefan Edberg Sportsmanship Award for the second time, and the ATP #1 club made it clear he's the real deal. While the haters keep looking for reasons to criticize, Alcaraz keeps proving them wrong. If you want more updates on Alcaraz and the biggest moments in tennis, hit that like button and subscribe. The journey's just getting started.